You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
The world has become such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in our use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
We are now in our Cup Chat segment here on WEFM's Activated Mornings. This morning, we are speaking on the topic, Serving Our Nation at Sea, the SVG Coast Guard Service. And with us in studio, we have Mr. Bran Gorgon Glasgow, who is a lieutenant in the SVG Coast Guard Service, and Mr. Selwyn Isaacs, a petty officer with the SVG Coast Guard Service. Gentlemen, good morning, welcome, and welcome back to WEFM.
Yes, good morning. Good morning to St. Vincent the Grenadines, persons in the diaspora, visitors, and anyone under the sound of my voice. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, everyone tuning in. I am Petty Officer Selwyn Isaacs, Coast Guard Officer in the St. Vincent the Grenadines Coast Guard, proud unit of the Royal St. Vincent the Grenadines Police Force. It's a real privilege to be here today to share a little about the history of the Coast Guard and the work we do to keep our nation waters safe.
How long have you been with the Coast Guard?
So I have been with the Coast Guard for August 15th, we make 28 years. So
you mean tomorrow? Hey.
So it's been a while. All right. It's been a while.
All right.
And I've been in the Coast Guard November the 2nd this year will be 18 years for me.
Okay. All right. Nice. So good for you both. So what has your experience been like in the Coast Guard? Have you enjoyed it mostly, or what's that been like?
So to give the general public a little bit of information about the Coast Guard. Coast Guard started in December 1980, 2nd of December. So this year is actually our 45th anniversary as a public service department to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We've been serving them honestly, professionally, and we hope to continue to do so for a number of years to come. Right? There's a multiplicity of things that we do at the Coast Guard. So the Coast Guard mandate is basically a broad one, and it's basically spelled out in our mission statement, which says we're there to maintain a permanent, effective maritime monitoring, control, surveillance, law enforcement, emergency response service within the waters of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we do that on a day-to-day basis, as well as provide a lot of logistic support to different departments within the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So it's encompassing a lot of things. We have a summer program that we do. We have we entertain visits from schools to show them what we do at the Coast Guard and to infiltrate the minds of the young person who's coming up, to give them an impetus to join the Coast Guard, because at an early age we would have fed into their minds that they can build a career from the Coast Guard service. Yeah.
Okay. But of all the professions, all the services, all the places you can choose to be employed, why the Coast Guard? Why did you choose the Coast Guard? Both of you.
Well, I am originally from the Grenadines.
So you're seaman.
Yes.
Right. Literal seaman.
The love for the sea. And I think there's a lot of opportunity for anyone to join the Coast Guard. I mean, everyone in the Coast Guard, when you join the Coast Guard, you will learn a skill. You will learn a skill because we have different departments within this unit. So you come to the Coast Guard, you can be a mechanical engineer, an electrical engineer. You could be in the operations, which is the seaman department. We have administration. So, and each of these departments, we have specialized training. So we do international training, we do regional training, or we do local trainings. And also, there's the opportunity for you to also become an instructor at the Coast Guard. So we actually train our own instructors at the Coast Guard.
Nice. But why did you join? Why did you join? What prompted you to join?
As I said, the love for the sea. My father was a fisherman, and I grew up on the sea.
Okay.
And I believe that we have to secure our borders. I believe that we all have a role to play, not just us, but civilian and everyone. And we have to take care of our own. And me joining the Coast Guard now put me at the forefront to protect my children and my children's future, also my future. So that's the main reason.
Okay.
For me, I actually applied to the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. I was sent to the Coast Guard, right? But I do not regret being sent to the Coast Guard, because I believe that the Coast Guard, if you're looking for a niche in the police force, I think the Coast Guard department is the niche department you would want to be.
In niche in what way?
Niche in that it excels, I think, in everything.
Okay.
Like I said, we have a very broad base, and we do a lot of things, and we build character in young people, so I think that, and we do a lot for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, be it search and rescue, be it law enforcement, be it logistic support, be it medifax, be it teaching, be it whatever, so we always giving back to, we train a lot. We get a lot of experience from local training, international training, regional training. So we give back.
Okay.
Right? So like I say, I believe that, if you're looking for like a niche within the police, because we're part of the police, right? We're the marine arm of the police, right? So I think that if you're looking for that, I don't regret joining the Coast Guard. I actually love the Coast Guard.
You've been there for 28 years.
Yeah, I've been there for 28 years. And I do not regret a single day that I went there to work.
Lovely.
Are any of you divers? Either of you? Are you?
I'm not, no.
No?
I'm not a diver.
No?
Very
Okay.
good swimmer, though.
Okay, well, I was about to ask next, how good of a swimmer were you when you joined the Coast Guard?
And not for me. Yeah, but I've improved. So I'm grateful, like I said.
All right. Do your divers, well, I suppose you do have these conversations. Have your divers ever talked about their experience when they have to go to search for somebody and even when they find a dead body? What that experience is like for them?
Yes, but I would have heard persons would have said that their first time would have been kind of scary because you know you go down there, you're looking for somebody, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get down there and the person would have started decomposing, so you may have touched the person, flesh is coming off in your hands, that sort of thing. So it's a kind of scary experience, but I mean, as you get into it and as they get into it, they will get more comfortable with the experience. Yeah.
And how many divers? Oh, go ahead.
But safety is one of our primary. So we don't have one diver at any point in time, because we always keep a lookout. Our diver safety is most important.
You dive in pairs as well.
So we dive in pairs.
Okay. How many divers does the Coast Guard have?
Roughly at this time, maybe about 10, 12 persons.
Okay.
And for those persons, because it's an interesting question that Dianna asked, what sort of support do they get, like emotional support? Well, not just them, I suppose all of you collectively, because your work is not easy. Can't pretend by any stretch of the imagination that it is easy, right? But in terms of just taking care of your mental well-being, etc., and to be diving and have to recover a body is not going to be the easiest thing to face. And I could only imagine when they close their eyes, they're going to have images of what they've, recovered coming into mind. So what sort of support do you guys generally get, though?
Well, I would say, right, Coast Guard, since I've joined the Coast Guard, it's like a big family. Everybody, it's like a family. I mean, we eat together, we sleep together, and so support is always there. From the top, from the commander come right down. There's always support. We show empathy when it comes to each other, whether it's personal problems you have or internal problems. So for me, support is always there. No matter what you're going through, there's someone you always can go to and speak.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, if you cannot find the support in the workplace, there's always outside help that we can. So I'm saying that if the Coast Guard cannot provide that level of support that you need, there's always outside help that we can source for persons.
Okay. All right. Do I necessarily need to go through the police to join the Coast Guard? And at what age do you start taking people? Okay, not taking people. At what age can persons join?
So the age range according to the law that I know is between 19 and 30, right? If you want to join the police force. Right, I know that there would have been other circumstances where people would have joined, maybe a little bit younger, 18 going to 19, or a little bit over, 30, between 30, 35, but that's the range. In terms of joining the Coast Guard, you can do so through the police force. The Coast Guard at present has a Coast Guard auxiliary program. Through that, we recruit Coast Guard auxiliaries, and we start to work on them basically to get them to that level where they can be brought into the Coast Guard service itself when the time comes, right? So that's probably the easiest way to join outside of the police system, through the auxiliary system.
But then what would be the role of the auxiliary? Because they're not full-fledged Coast Guard officers. So what would their roles be?
So they function, so if you know the police system, the police use auxiliaries as well. And they have basically the same function. Maybe not all of the benefits, but the same function. So it's like building blocks. You recruit them, you give them the basics of the police, of the Coast Guard, and you build on them. When that time comes, they are ahead So it's easy to draft them into the system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The transition is much more easier for them since they already received the basic training.
And I suppose as well to for the auxiliary is for them to prove themselves as well to see whether or not they're truly dedicated and want to be a part of it. So that's also like
Exactly.
it's what's the word I'm looking for? You come to me just now, but y'all know what I mean, right?
Yes.
Right. It's okay.
Can you tell us about, can you run through, not a typical day, but let's say, let's do a scenario, right? So you receive a call that somebody was at the beach, or a group of people were at the beach, somebody is missing, or they were in a boat, the boat turned over, or something of this sort, but there is an emergency at sea. What's next? Can you tell us from that point of receiving the call to getting to the place of the incident?
So there's a number of different emergencies that can happen, and we basically have a format that, by way of a template, where we would ask you some questions. So, for example, if you're reporting an incident, we want to know your name. We want to have a contact number for you just in case you do not have enough credit or something to maintain the call, so we can call you back, right? We will want to know what the incident is, how many persons are involved in the incident, where is the incident, right? And based on the seriousness, because like I said, the Coast Guard do a multiplicity of things. So you may call and say, okay, your boat ran out of fuel, right? But then somebody else may call and say, we have a drowning or we have persons in the water in Villa, right? That person with the boat that runs out of fuel, he's not in any imminent danger.
Unless he started drifting.
Well, even if he's drifting, once we has his position,
Okay.
we can always go to him.
Okay. All
Right? So that is one of the things that we will take up front, your nature of distress, your position, right? And how to reach you back, right? And we will walk from there. But like I say, depending on the emergency, right, you will get the response, right? So, we would attend to that emergency that we deem needs our attention first, right? So, if I use another example, we provide a lot of logistic support in the Grenadines after burial, and up to now we're still doing that, right? Because there was a need for the Coast Guard to be there to assist the people of the Southern Grenadines, especially, right, in transferring expertise in terms of persons, equipment, whatever the requirement was, we were there and we're still there, right? But I don't know. We do. Sometimes I think we do too much. But, and I mean, there's no limit to what people will ask for and to ask you to do. But I mean, we're there. We're a professional unit, and once we are able to assist, we will assist you.
Okay.
Yes.
As we say, lives, we prioritize life. So life is paramount. So when we do the risk assessment, as the lieutenant says, if there's a drifting and there's people overboard who's drowning, then we're gonna, okay, this is life. We have to deal with this person. Soonest.
As it relates to contacting you, you said if we call on, it's a cell phone call or any other phone, you take the number to reach us back just in case we run out of credit.
Yes.
What happens if I am in the middle of the sea, I call you using a radio, but before I could even give you the necessary information, I lose signal, or I don't know how they work. The battery dies or something.
So the thing about radios, actually radios are more reliable at sea than your cell phone, actually, right? Because the thing with the radio is most of them, they're submersible. You can put them in water and they would still work, right? 1, 2. If you are at sea and you're in trouble, and a ship is passing there, it is a requirement for them to be fitted with marine VHF radios on board their ship. You don't know the ship, but you're seeing it, it's passing, you can reach out to it. If you have that cell phone, you don't know who is on board, you can call. All right? So if you have a radio and you know how to use the radio, because there's some persons who carry radios but don't know how to use the radios. But once you know how to use your radio, it's a far better piece of equipment to have on board than a cell phone. And you and I know your cell phone range is probably about 15, 20 nautical miles at most. Outside of that, you get nothing. The fishermen, boat operators, they go 40, 50, 60, 100 miles. You know? So you could see what I'm saying.
And by radios, you mean VHF
Yes.
radios, right?
Yes.
Okay, just a
And those radios are, as you know, the emergency channel 16. So any vessel within that radius will pick up that signal. So these modern radios also has a distress button that you can, even if you don't make a call, you press the distress button and it will send out a signal. But any nearby vessel will pick up that signal. I know that this is a distress.
As well, the Coast Guard operates a base station. By that we mean, like what Isaac just said, in terms of the distress signal, your radios will normally be registered with NTRC, right? So through them to us, all that information concerning your vessel is registered with the radio, right? So when you hit that button, all of that information will come, to include the nature of the distress that you are in and where you are. It will come to our base station at the Coast Guard base, and we could work on it. We would act on that information that we receive.
How often do you have meetings with, let's say, with fisher folk or persons who use the sea, right, to advise them of the best steps for, in the event that something happens, the best steps for them to secure themselves and also to get help? Like, how often does that happen?
Well, we speak to the fishermen on a regular basis.
Okay.
We actually work with the fisheries as well. Once they ask for our help, we walk along with the fisheries to provide training with these equipment.
I was going to ask about that.
So,
Okay.
There's no lack of it, really. And we would continue to provide the support once it's needed. And I mean, it's not just training the fishermen, is also other boat operators, you know, because we want the entire marine public to be aware of these things. You know, we want them to be aware of these things and to know that if they need the help of the Coast Guard is there to assist. They could write or call, and once they made the request, I'm sure that once it's in our capacity to assist, we will assist.
Okay. Are all boats supposed to be registered? So, no, you can understand what I'm asking, right?
Yes.
Okay.
However, there's a lot of vessels that aren't registered, especially like the smaller ones. But in St. Vincent, the fisheries as well as the Maritime Administration operate a registry for vessels the Maritime Administration for local vessels as well as regional international vessels. The fisheries will look at more the fisher folks and register their vessels. So if you're looking for a fishing boat, it would be easier to locate it through the fisheries. If you're looking for a commercial vessel or maybe a pleasure craft or another vessel, the Maritime Administration would be the best place. You know, we operate St. Vincent operate an open registry for vessels.
And I must add also, there's also a network. So we don't just work by ourselves. There's a network where we work along with the regional security and the rescue coordination center in Trinidad and Tobago. So even if the work may seem tedious, we can get help from other neighboring islands.
Right. So just to add a little bit more meat to what Pierre Isaacs is saying, right? So if, for example, we have a SAR situation, a search and rescue situation, right?
SARS are different meaning to it. So, right.
Search and rescue, right? We have a situation where we get a report of, let's say, a fishing vessel that is missing, or a pleasure boat or cargo vessel that is missing, right? Through the RSS or through the Maritime Rescue Coordination Center in Trinidad, and Trinidad, for our local, which is the Southern Windward Islands, or the Southern Caribbean, Windward Islands, Barbados, Trinidad, right? They operate a MRCC, which is a Maritime Rescue Coordination Center that coordinates all search and rescue operations. So even if the operation is local, which is St. Vincent, we would feed that information to Trinidad as well as to the RSS, looking for assistance from them, because we may not have the asset or the capability to deal with the entire mission. And hence, we would send that information for them. They would take over because, like I say, most times they have more asset resources than us. Trinidad, like I say, is the MRCC. So they're the persons that coordinates everything, or should coordinate everything. And yeah, we walk through that ambit to get the best results, basically,
Okay. So two other questions. So the RSS and the TNT organization, do they have helicopter services?
Well, that's the thing. The RSS has an aircraft that would normally engage in search and rescue operations as well. Trinidad, yes, they would have other assets. They have large vessels, cutters, offshore patrol vessels, as well as that same helicopter service that you speak of. And not only that, let me not limit it to just those, because MRCC Fort de France, which operates also Martinique, right, as well assists a lot in search and rescue operations throughout the region, right? So Puerto Rico, the southern sector, there as well. Sometimes they may have a vessel on patrol in our area, and we want the assistance, they will assist, So it all depends on what is happening and who we reach out to, the location of the distress and all that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Did any of all of those organizations that you just called out, did any of them assist, or were they called on to assist in the search for the vessel? I can't remember its
MV
name.
Guidance.
Guidance, yeah, for MV Guidance.
In our local, RSS, MRCC, I think we reach out to some place up north there, yeah. I think Puerto Rico. Yeah, Trinidad. But Beryl was, when it passed us, was probably a category, low end category 5 storm when it passed us. And if you're caught up in that, your chances of getting out of that as a small vessel, is difficult. So yes, we did look for a long period of time for that vessel. But I'm just saying as well, we know the circumstances surrounding it. So, we know it would have been a difficult fight as well. Yeah.
All right. And final question before we take the ad break. What are your capabilities like in terms of responding to multiple calls, let's say, at around the same time? And I'm looking at, let's say, when we have holidays where numerous persons will be on the different beaches, not just on St. Vincent, but also in the Grenadines. So what is the response like? Or what are your capabilities to respond to multiple calls for you to be a part of?
So the Coast Guard The Coast Guard, as at present, we operate 3 bases. There's a base in Kanawan, there's a base in Beckley. Huh? As well as my so
That's why he's here to help.
so it's actually 4.
Okay.
Right? So on the mainland. So like I said, it cuts down on the response time if there's an emergency. So if there's an emergency in the Sun Grenadines, we have a boat in Kanawan, Myro. If there's an emergency in Beckway, Musty, we have a vessel in Beckway that can respond. And then on the mainland, well, we cover the mainland. But if there's a dire need for us to get there, though it's going to take a longer period of time. Yes. Based on the need, we would respond.
Okay. All right. So I'm looking at a scenario such as, okay, so you get a distress call, let's say at Wallabu, right? And there's a distress call, let's say, somewhere on the west side. What's a beach out there? A beach out there, right? So you are deployed or you're on your way to Layo. Because you are on your way to Wallabu, sorry, not Layo, Wallabu. Can the vessel that's in Beckway, because it's closest to St. Vincent, can they come up to possibly assist with the one?
Yes, that's what I'm saying to you.
Okay.
So it's one walk force, one walk load, and we share. They're not separated per se, right? They are governed. We are governed under one regulation, right? So where the need is where we're gonna be, right? So if we need to move the vessel from Kanawan to bring it up to St. Vincent to help out with something that is happening on St. Vincent, that is what we would do. Yeah, and like I say, it would take a little longer, but once the need presents itself, that is where the vessel will be once it's operational.
And the thing with us also, I forgot to add to the lieutenant, we have more than one asset. So even if one is deployed to the leeward coast, we have trained, competent, more than one coxswain, we have engineers, so we can deploy another vessel from here to respond to the windward coast. So really and truly, even we know the nature of our jobs. We know that we can be called back at any time on the days. So we are always ready, even if we're home. We are always ready to respond.
So we say for y'all.
More than.
Okay.
We're going to take an ad break here, then we'll come back to finish up the interview. Listeners, when we come back, you can call us with your questions.
Let's get your laundry clean and fresh with the widest range of washing machines and dryers in SVG. At Singer, choose between our West Point and Speed Queen brands with an array of washing machines with payments starting as low as $92 per month. Your laundry room wouldn't be complete without a Whirlpool or Speed Queen electric or gas-operated dryer, saving your energy consumption. Also in stock is our West Point washer dryer combo for only $136 per month. One machine that does the work of 2. No need to change machines. Just toss in your laundry and forget about it. Whether your preference in machines is top loading or front loading, whether you want a 9 kilogram or a larger 15 kilogram washer, whether you're looking for a gas or electric dryer, we've got it all at Singer. Visit us today and get the washing machine and dryer that's perfect for you. Singer, your family company.
Get ready for 2 days only, August 15th and 16th. Quartz is bringing unbeatable value straight to your home. Enjoy a massive 30% off all credit purchases and 20% off when you pay with cash on lounges, TVs, appliances, and bedroom sets. But wait, there's more. Get an extra 5% off on already discounted Ashley furniture items. Don't miss out. These deals are for 2 days only, August 15th and 16th at all Quartz locations island-wide. Quartz, bringing value home.
Thinking of winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8, and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
Cari Festa is the whole region looking good, and the whole road is runway. It's in the way we walk, it's the way we talk, it's the way we move. We ready for the world, and when we step out and pose just so, it's pure style and fashion. Look away! Come for Cari Festa 15 in Barbados. Book your stay now at visitbarbados.org/Cari Festa.
Sparrows, run around, look your sophistication. Sparrows, run, age to perfection. Skillfully crafted and forged with time in oak barrels. A rum so divine, discover authentic Caribbean rum. Sparrows, premium rum. Sparrows, full-bodied rum. Sparrows, pure sophistication. Discover authentic Vincentian rum. Sparrows, premium rum.
Distilled and blended by St. Vincent Distillers Limited. Please drink responsibly.
Agents, Careers, Distributions Limited. WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
Cop Chat. You've got questions for the police? They're here to give you the answers on WEFM 99.9.
The world has become such a cruel place. Something is wrong with the human race. Preacher man say it's wonders and signs. We are living in the end of times. Where is the love we once used to know? Where is the kindness we used to show? The heart of man is so full of hate. Let's make a change before it's too late. Too much killing, too much blood spilling. Each and every morning, it's weeping and mourning. We've got to stop all the crimes, erase the violence, let our voice be heard. We can't sit in silence. The hope of tomorrow is in no use today. We've got to live in love. Crime and violence don't pay.
We are back with more Cop Chat here on WEFM. This morning in studio, we have Bran Gordon Glasgow, Lieutenant in the SVG Coast Guard Service, and Selwyn Isaacs, a Petty Officer with the SVG Coast Guard Service. This morning, we're speaking on the topic, serving our nation at sea, the SVG Coast Guard Service. You can call us if you have questions for the officers at 457-9997. That's our WhatsApp number, and that is also our direct line number. Does the Coast Guard have to be aware of all marine activities? For example, the ships that come in and dock at the port, the container ships, the other cargo ships. Like, do you have to know this ship is coming at this time, it will be leaving at this time, and things like that? Because it's all marine life, you know.
Not necessarily. However, for example, during the cruise season, we would have a list of the calls that are coming from a merchant marine, merchant shipping aspect in terms of the cargo vessels and and that sort of thing. The Coast Guard is actually the designated authority on ISPS matters at the port facilities in St. Vincent that are ISPS compliant. That will cover cargo, tanker, cruise ports. So at Great Head Bay, Nanisville, Kingston, both cargo and cruise, Camden Park, and Lomans to a lesser extent, Lomans Bay, right? So like I say, yeah, we are the designated authority, and through that designation, we would get additional information regarding vessels activity coming to our port facilities. But that's the length and breadth of it, really. In terms of fishing, the fisheries, if we need that information.
By extension, though, with this question, what about excursions? Because, persons are going to be out in the water. I don't know if they need to get police authority to have these type of excursions. And if so, are you informed just in case you need to be on standby?
Right. So the process is through the Maritime Administration, and then the Maritime Administration, once it's approved, would send that information to us. So we will know.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And if they need assistance in terms of overloading, insufficient safety equipment, that sort of thing, the Coast Guard does the maritime law enforcement for all of these agencies that operates marine-wise. So if they have an issue, the port has an issue, they would call the Coast Guard, law enforcement-wise.
Okay.
Same to the Maritime Administration, they have an issue. Same to all other
so the
departments.
The party boats doing excursions.
All of them.
Yes. Okay. Yes. All right.
Who is responsible for checking those boats, specifically the party boats, to make sure that they have all the necessary safety equipment before they set out?
Like I said, the Maritime Administration, and through the same registration process that you speak of, the Maritime Administration has inspectors that would go out to these vessels, inspect them for safety equipment, making sure that they're carrying what they're supposed to carry, right? And like I say now, if the Coast Guard meet these vessels, or if we get the information that they're going on an excursion and we go along with them, the Coast Guard has that authority to get on board to make sure that if they're carrying 100 persons, they have 100 life jackets, or they have some form of safety equipment that in case of an emergency, it's able to carry or to take the amount of persons that they say they're carrying safely until they get assistance. So yeah, that's basically the process.
These equipments include like flares, life jackets,
other floats. So like some rigid flotation devices, or you may have life rafts, you may have another dinghy on board, some other small boat that could assist.
Fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
Curious question. Like when you go on a plane, that the air hostess would instruct you in terms of where the vests are, and that thing to drop down to put over your face, the mask and everything, right? Do you think that before departing shore, that a similar exercise should be done with the persons? I'm more focusing on the party boats, right? Because many of us would go on these boats. We ain't know how to swim. We don't know this. We don't know that. We don't even know where to find the life vests, right? So
it's funny that you would say that, because most of these vessels, they're actually fitted with a PA system, And if they don't have a PA system, they have the DJ that is playing, that has speakers that could get up and say, okay, your life jackets are here in an emergency. This is what you do. This is what you follow, right? Apart from that, there should be additional signage on your vessel that is directing persons to where your emergency equipment are. So your personal flotation devices, life jackets, that sort of things. So they should be clearly marked, right? So that persons coming on board will know, okay, life jackets are overhead in this bin, or they're under your seat. Should be labeled. And like I say, These are things that the inspectors from Maritime Administration would check for when they go on your vessel. So I would encourage the boating public and the party boats, right, to make an announcement before they leave about where these items are, just in case of an emergency. Yeah, thanks.
While all that is good and well, it's still on the individual. I think you going on these vessels, it's your right to ask. Even if you're not told, it's your right to ask these questions. So you can go and ask the captain or, for your own safety.
Ask them to make a general announcement,
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we have a call. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning. This is a great program with these guys there. Because I used to be a sea traffic controller at the Bridgetown Port in Barbados. And I'm very familiar with a lot of what they're saying. But the question is, because of the closeness of the islands, and in the case of the mainland, fairly far away from the island, the Grenadines, these captains doing these cruises, they have to be qualified, or they just captain the boats because they know the area?
Should be qualified. There's a process through the Maritime Administration where these operators are certified. And like I said, the Maritime Administration is the department that deals with these boat rides, right? Yes, they are qualified.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the other thing, I used to be in constant communication with the islands in reference to ships, where they're coming from, where they're going, before they had the ASI.
Yes.
And I used to be in contact with a fella on top of the hill there looking over Kingstown, the harbor, fella named Williams.
Who?
I just mentioned his name because that's the only name in that place that I can remember. So I was just wondering what has happened to him, if he's still up there working or what.
I am not sure of the individual that you speak of, no.
But the station.
Which station is it? We have plenty Williams and St. Vincent, plenty.
Yeah.
Oh, at the signal station he's speaking of? I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the individual that you speak of. No.
Yeah, because where he was stationed, he could have seen all around the harbor from on top of the hill.
I see.
And many a time I went to St. Vincent, and they always say you go look for the guys, and they never get up there.
Well,
but
if
it is a
listening,
very interesting topic.
Yes.
And it's standing right down my street.
All right, thanks.
And I'm here listening and enjoying. I'm retired now, though, so I just enjoy the show.
All right.
With these two lovely ladies here, they do a good job in the morning.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right.
I'm curious now, where is the signal station?
It's right here at Fort Charles.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So what the vessels usually do, before they leave Port Kingston or any port, they'll radio the signal station and let them know their location, time they're expected to reach port.
Yeah, they're responsible for all marine traffic coming into St. Vincent by way of radio. It is through them that they will reach out to the pilots and so on that take the vessels into port and so on, the international vessels, yes.
Oh, that's where it goes to?
Yes.
I legit thought it goes to the port.
It goes to the port as well, but they because of where they're located,
right?
Yeah, they cover a wide span, so that sometimes if we cannot reach a vessel at sea, we will reach out to signal station to raise that vessel for us, pass any type of marine communication that we have to pass to that vessel, because of their location, it's easier for them to, they cover a wider, they have a wider, and VHF radio is line of sight, so yeah, it's easier for them to pick up the signal.
I feel like I need to go back a Coast Guard program to understand things a lot better.
Who is at the signal station though? As in what departments?
The Port
organization?
Authority, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, they train the persons that operate there.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Well, I think we've come to the end of the interview. It's now 9:01. So if there are no more.
Before that, though, because we are in the vacation period, many persons are on the beaches. We have a lot of visitors to the island.
Yes.
What can you tell us in terms of just general marine safety?
Well, I would say that we have to be our brother's keepers. When we
Yes, I see we have one call. Let's see if they could ask a question in 30 seconds. All right, caller, you have 30 seconds to ask the question. Good morning. Hello? Okay, we're barely hearing you though.
What was the question? I didn't.
Oh no, I'm asking. No, because I took the call. I'm saying that you have 30 seconds to ask your question because we're about to wrap up the program.
Okay, something I just want. Okay, next.
Hello? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so as I was saying, I think we all need to be our brother's keepers. So I work closely with the Coast Guard and the police force as a whole. When you go to beaches, especially in the holidays or whenever, it's always important to keep your eye out on your loved ones or anyone of that matter. Time, very important. So the time that you contact the Coast Guard when someone is going missing or you haven't seen someone or someone is in distress is very important. We at the Coast Guard, we try to if you check our logs, we respond to emergency no more than 5 minutes. Because we always have a crew standby for these circumstances, right? So the time that you respond to the Coast Guard is very important for saving lives. So I would like to add, this is very important. Remember to keep us in your prayers because the job is not easy. That's it. I don't know.
Question though, something. How long should you wait before contacting the Coast Guard if somebody goes missing? So I'm at the beach with my family. We notice that somebody is gone. How long is a good enough time for me to call you? You know, what if I call you and then I find the person after?
So then you call back and say you find the person. But what I'm saying, if you and your loved ones go to, let's say, Villa Beach, and half an hour pass and you see them, and based on their activity prior to the half an hour, you become uncomfortable, call the Coast Guard. Because I'm saying once you start to get uncomfortable, right, you start to worry. And if you start to worry, I believe you need help. So call for the help or get a search party to start looking for the person. You know, a lot of people, they go to beaches and so on, and they do not get any information about the beach that they're going to before they go to the beach. You know, and it is important for you to get information about the beach that you're going to before you go to the beach. Because let's take Kanash, for example, Blue Lagoon. The shoreline of that beach, very shallow. But there are areas in that beach that is very deep, right? If you are a person, let's say from Georgetown, who is visiting the beach for the first time, and you don't know this, you've been consuming alcohol, right? You get out there and you start to struggle. The persons with you are consuming alcohol as well, so they are not paying as much attention to you as they should, right? Because if you are a child, maybe, but you are a teenager, maybe an adult, right? It is when they are about to leave, they're going to start to check for the people who came with them, obviously. And then at that time, it's too late. You know, so once you miss the person, you get uncomfortable, you start to worry, Call the Coast Guard, arrange a search party, start looking for the person. If you find the person, call back saying, look, we find the person. The Coast Guard will go back to base. You know?
Go ahead.
People need to realize the Coast Guard, we are there 24/7. 24/7. So calling the Coast Guard, we are always there.
So I want to call and then and the Coast Guard officer say, but you ain't look for the person. Look, you're fine. Look, now we reach it and find the person. That was nobody's gonna tell me that was a waste.
You waste
call.
my time. I waste my time.
Nobody tell me that. Report that.
No one will tell you that.
Okay.
I am sure.
So
Okay.
I'm sure no one will tell you that.
I know we're wrapping up, but it's just something that you said that's well, never even occurred to me. In terms of knowing the beach, right? Because me can swim. I can swim, right? But I have gone to beaches. There's one, I think it's Moncton, where so I stand where I go where I can stand.
Right.
But then there's a sudden drop.
Yes.
Right? Do you think that there should be signage on the beaches to let persons know these things? Because we just go from beach to beach.
But listen to me, the Coast Guard has signs planted on beaches. I'll give you 2 examples. If you go to Raku, as soon as you go to the gate, there's a sign there. Coast Guard speaking about rip currents and underthrows. You go to Brighton Salpon, as soon as you get down, there's a sign there. Do people read the signs? No. Do they adhere to them? No. You know, so I'm saying, and I mean, people believe in the fact that they can swim and nothing could happen. You understand? They see the Coast Guard wearing a life jacket and they ask, oh, you working Coast Guard, why are you wearing a life jacket? But if you fall overboard and you hit your head, you can't save yourself. You know, it's the life jacket to keep you afloat. And you know, these are the things that you have to keep in mind. You know, so it's all about your safety, and nobody should be able to take care of you better than you. You know, so and if you are a child, then your parent. You know, so we would encourage and I tell people, like, little things. If you go into a beach that you're not familiar with, walk with a little piece of rope, maybe 100 foot. You never know. You might be able to trade to somebody, falling back into the water, reaching. You never know. As simple as it may look. I remember 4 persons died at Rock in one day.
Yes.
You know? And I'm thinking, you know, people look to rush to the situation all the time before even assessing the situation. Had they done an assessment, maybe? I don't know. I was
Much
young by
younger,
then.
yeah.
But,
Right.
but I'm saying, you know, you as an adult, as a person who may be leading a party of people going somewhere, you have to think of all of the different things outside of the box that the persons going with you aren't thinking about. Because you're the lead, you know. So I'm hoping that, you know, people look at some of the things that they call the little things, look at them and you know, improve on what they do. You know?
As they say, we say drinking on the beach, alcohol, consuming alcohol. But even simple thing as eating a big meal and then going into the water immediately after, that's a hazard. So they could look at all that.
Truly enjoyed this program. Thank you, guys.
All right. So with that, we have come to the end of our interview speaking on the topic Serving Our Nation at Sea, the SVG Coast Guard Service. In studio this morning, we had Petty Officer Selwyn Isaacs and Lieutenant Bran Gorgon Glasgow of the SVG Coast Guard Service. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. All the best in the work that you do.
Right. So thanks again. And I would like to say the Coast Guard cell phone number is 4574578. That's how you contact us, or through our email, svgcogard@vincentsoft.com. And thank you. Thank you, St. Vincent. Good morning again.